Hello, super excited today because today I'm going to talk about, simply put, the biggest literary work of all times, none other than the Mahabharata itself, right? And just to give a very small and introduction, this epic poem has over 100,000 verses, and simply put, it's the biggest of them all. It's four times the size of Ramayana. It's 10 times the size of the Greek mythologies like Iliad and Odyssey and all those, right? So it's huge. It's mammoth, right? That's how Mahabharata is, and it's the best part of all that is it has come from our own roots from India. So I think most of us Indians would know about a few things about Mahabharata. For example, it was written by Ved Vyas. Not per se written, it was actually told by Ved Vyas, and the myth has it that it was written by Lord Ganesh himself, because he's the only one who was able to capture the thought of Vyas as soon as he uttered and could capture it in the form of a book. So what I have in front of me from in that sense is a pictorial plus a story kind of edition. I also have the comic edition of Mahabharata, which I will definitely show, which is from Amar Chitra Katha in some other day. But I thought this is really an interesting thing to start with, right? So because not many people would have seen this version of Mahabharata, many people would have seen the either the complete story arc or the complete comic arc. This actually fits kind of like in the middle, because each page has a very beautiful illustration to go with the rest of the story. So it makes the story reading more immersive. I would say it's somewhere in between the normal story and the comic version. So let's jump right in. So this is by Dreamland Publications. This is, as you can see, this title number 96 from their house of books. It ran from I think 96 to the last one being 107, 12 books in all, which captured the story, right? Like I said, right, this is how it is. Each page has half a page, almost a half a page of the illustration, and then the story below it. Its artwork is done by Mr. K.L. Verma, and it is retold and edited by T.R. Bhanot, right? The two people who worked behind this books. It came long time back, and it cost around 15 rupees, right? It's written, the title is printed by Ajanta Color Offset Printers long way back. Right, the first book, obviously, I don't want to go in detail on each of this book because that is going to take a long while, but this book sets the tone of how the King Shantanu came in, and obviously Pandavas and Kauravas are all his descendants. It talks about his story and how Bhishma, he's about his son Bhishma, and then he got remarried, and Bhishma taking upon a life of celibacy, never to get married, and finally the birth of Pandavas and Kauravas. And then it talks slightly about the early childhood years when Dronacharya comes and starts training them. So it touches upon all those topics, and how Arjuna becomes his favorite disciple. Unfortunately, this book, the last page is torn. That's a sad part on this one, but the good part is, like you could see, it's a two-page pictorial spread which this book has, and that continues in all the other books that comes from there on, right? And then we go into part 2 of Mahabharata, which is when the Pandavas and Kauravas are now born, they're adults, the rivalry has kick-started, and each book has this beautiful representation of the very famous picture of Arjuna riding and with Krishna as his charioteer, right? Simply brilliant this artwork is. I don't want to take too much time, but and go into the story in depth, because it's a big story, like I said earlier. But I just wanted to take you through some of the pictures that comes in these stories. And Mahabharata has a lot of small story arcs in between, in which each of the character, like Arjuna or Bhima, comes into their own, as well as the entire Pandavas have to face the tough times, right? Those things are captured here. Again, showing you the 2-page pictorial artwork here, which is brilliant. That's something which I love about this book. Moving into part 3, this is Arjuna with, I think this is when he gets married to Panchali and brings her home, right? Again, the 2-page spread, right? Just showing you some pages within. There are a lot of stories in this, right? The death of Kichak, how they play, they gamble and they lose, and then they have to go for Vanvas after losing to Shakuni. Right? It's a mix of lot of stuff for anyone to grab in one video, and that too such a short video. Again, we move into part 4. Simply another brilliant one. This, for those of you know, is the story of how Krishna and Arjuna let the fire god consume an entire forest, right? And that's when they get their Gandiva and their main weapons. That's the story behind that. Some of it escapes me. I've read this stories very long back, or I've heard from my grandmother. So pardon me if there is some mistakes in this, but yeah, quite brilliant, right? Arjuna even marries Subhadra, who is Balram's sister, right? That's another story arc which I think is contained in this book. And here in the back it shows all the other Dreamland publications list. It's quite an exhaustive one. It lasts till 112 from what I can see here. Move on to part 5. This slightly has a newspaper thing attached. It's slightly damaged. I didn't want to risk anything or remove it, but this is the Panchali embarrassment kind of scene where Dushasan tries to take off her sari and Krishna comes to her aid, which is beautifully captured here, right? Again, a 2-page artwork. This is also as a result of gamble that Yudhishthir enters with Shakuni, but all of it is in the making for the final war, which comes at the end, right? And this story actually captures how the enmity grows between the two brother groups, so as to say. Pandavas, the 5 of them, versus the 100 Kauravas. The next one is again something interesting when Arjuna comes face to face with none other than Lord Shiva, and this one is Bhima who comes to face with Hanuman. Both of them are born to Lord Vayu, so they are in a way brothers. So that's very interestingly portrayed here, right? So the story between a fight between Arjuna and Shiva is also pretty interesting. I loved that story when I was small. Shiva disguises himself as a dacoit kind of person and comes to challenge Arjuna. It's a brilliant duel that happens, that ensues, and Shiva becomes very happy with Arjuna and his skills, right? Again, Hanuman, as I told. Now we move on to part 7, right? This one, I forgot what this scene exactly means. Obviously, we forgot to mention Karna, who plays an important and pivotal role, who's actually a son of Kunti and should have been part of Pandavas, but because Kunti lets him go in the early part of her life, finally Duryodhan takes Karna into his into his group, and then Karna becomes an ardent follower of Duryodhan. That's another story here. Just trying to tell you the stories which I remember. This one is a brilliant one in which Yama, who is actually the father of Yudhishthir, comes and challenges all the Pandavas. So everybody dies when they are not able to answer Yama's question, and Yudhishthir is the only one who is able to do so, and then brings back all his brothers. It talks about how smart and intellectual Yudhishthir is. From there we move on to Mahabharat part 8, right? Again, a 2-page pictorial artwork. This, I think, is the period when the Pandavas had to go and it's called Ajnatavas, or basically Pandavas are not supposed to be discovered by Kauravas during this year, and if they did, they have to go to an exile of again another 12 years. So, and then we move on to part 9. Again, a brilliant picture of Krishna here. Yeah, I think this pretty much sets up the tone for the war. Pandavas come back and they ask for their fair share of the kingdom, which Duryodhan refuses to give. A lot of argument take place, and finally the whole mood is set up that this will only end with a war. And there is also, I think, a brilliant story in which both Duryodhan and Krishna go and ask for Krishna's loyalty in the war, and Arjuna asks for Krishna only, and Duryodhan is very happy to get the entire Yadava army to fight for him. Now finally, very epic moment of from where Bhagavad Gita is picked up from. Krishna, the charioteer, advising Arjuna, and obviously I think this is one moment in which Krishna lost his cool, and when he told that he will never take arms again in this war, but he actually loses it and tries to kill, I think this is Drona, I forgot who it was, but yeah, again showing you some pictures from this one. Yeah, that's the beginning of the war, the epic war of Kurukshetra, which lasted for 18 days. In which all the mighty warriors from either side took place. Yeah, when Duryodhana came to know that Pandavas, I forgot, Bhishma. Yeah, Bhishma, obviously one of the early. He led the war from the Kaurava side, and that's him, getting defeated and lying in the heap of arrows. For those who knows that story, this is Arjuna. Getting him some water from the ground when he lies there, because Bhishma has this boon that he can only die when he wishes to, and he wishes to do that only at the end of the war, right? So again, this takes off from the war scene when Bhishma falls, Drona takes his place, and all the other parts from there on is shown here. I don't know if they show Khadolgaj, who is the son of Bhim, who comes into picture. Then there is Abhimanyu, right? A lot of warriors had fought in the war, and this one is a still from that Abhimanyu, who gets killed by, if I remember correctly, Jayadratha, and Jayadratha gets slayed by Arjun later. So this is the last books, that part 12 in this series, when the war goes to the final day, the day number 18, and one by one all the Kaurava princes are killed off, right? Which is a very sad scene. I think that is Duryodhan lying on his deathbed. And finally, after the war, the entire Pandavas feel lost. They did not feel it was worth it. This is the scene of death of Krishna by the hands of a hunter, right? And then all the Pandavas, they go on a hermitage. They don't want to stay and rule the kingdom, and that's from there where it picks off. And yeah. So that's the story. Yeah, Yudhishthira coming in face to face with Yama again. So, and that's where we end the story with, and it's written that gist of Mahabharat has been given the name Bharat Savitri. Basically, we should never give up the path of dharma, neither of our own accord, nor out of the fear or greed, nor for our savior either, not for saving our life either. So that's it, guys. Just wanted to quickly show you this brilliant mammoth epic. I hope you guys all loved it. Thanks for watching.